Welcome back. Welcome back. I want to come on and do a story time. I had to really think about if I wanted to put this story out there or not. Nowadays it's pretty common. Teenage pregnancy is a pretty common thing. Not saying that it's a good thing, but it is a common thing. So this story time is about finding out I was pregnant at the age of 15. Just a baby. I was still, I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school. And I mean, it didn't ruin my life at all. It was a blessing. Got a wonderful son out of the deal. And I was a good girl, don't get it twisted. I was not one of these super fast, out here, flashy, gotta be at all the parties. I was not that girl at all. Most teenage moms aren't that type of a female. They're not. They just make some not so great choices and end up in these type of situations. So let's go ahead and get to the video. I met my first child, just back up, I do have other children now, but my first child, I met his father when I was 12 years old. I met him through a friend. We were talking on the phone or whatever, but as she realized she wasn't interested. She didn't like him for whatever reason. So she passed his number along to me. Well, he would call her house and I'd be over there. I'd answer the phone. She'd be like, tell him I'm not here, tell him I'm not here. So I'm like, oh, okay, so she's not here. Maybe the third time he called and I was like, she's not here. He was like, so what's your name? Now, ladies, nobody wants to be second choice. Nobody is out here, trying to be the woman or the girl you settled for, right? Keep in mind, I'm 12 years old, so that was not on my mind. I didn't have the grown woman mindset at all. So, I'm like, yeah, my name's Mandy. Yeah, she's real busy, and I think she might be talking to somebody else. I really don't think she's, really all that interested. He and I began to talk on the phone. He would call over to her house, and I was always there. So I would answer the phone, or he would even got to the point where he was calling and asking, may I speak to Mandy? Keep in mind, this is not my house. I ended up taking calls at that house often, pretty much every day. I finally gave him my number. He would call me at home, or if I wasn't at home, then he would call me when I was over there. We started talking on the phone every day, and we were talking on the phone for like about 2 years. This went on, just phone friends. I think I did see him one time because that was how I found out what he actually looked like. I met him at the skating ring. We went skating on a Saturday night. He was there. That was my first time seeing him. I was so nervous, so nervous, but I was looking fine. Okay. I was looking good. Had on my little fitted jeans, my cute little blouse, my hair, Shirley Simple curls coming down in the front, my hair. And yeah, I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, he's cute. He's real cute. He skated over to me, him and his family members, and I was so nervous. I did something so stupid. I was so nervous. His friends were like, or was it his aunt? Somebody who was like, do you know him? And I was like, nah, I don't know him. And I'm joking, but I think I took the joke a little too far. Never admitted to knowing him, so that was that for the rest of the night. We didn't talk. I watched him skate, he watched me skate. Yeah, that was stupid. And that was it for that night. But we went back to talking on the phone every day. He was a little mad at me for that incident. Getting to know each other. We were young, I think. So when I was 12, he was 14. Yeah, he was 14, I was 12. So then 2 years later, we're talking, and so I saw him again, his stepbrother, moved into the same apartment complex that my mother and I lived in. Happened to see him there outside throwing football. We hung out for a little while. It was awkward, but I was a little older by that time. I was 14. We were just kind of hanging out, laughing, talking, whatever. I didn't see him again. It's like we were talking on the phone, but I didn't see him again for like another year and a half, I think. I ended up moving to Toledo, Ohio, where my father is from, where he lived at the time. I ended up moving there because I had gotten into another relationship and I was actually trying to get away from that person. But so yeah, I moved away for about a year, and I came back and I moved back to Kansas City. I called him and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I just moved back to Kansas City. You know, I really like to see you, see how you been, all that type of thing. And at this time, yeah, I was 15 years old and a freshman in high school. So I had started going over his house, spending time, hanging out. I met all his family. Everything was going good, you know, everything was cool. I had gotten a job at a department store, so I could, you know, I wanted my own money. I'm at work, I'm at the register, you know, I'm doing my job. Then all of a sudden, like, I got hot, like real hot. So I'm thinking I'm nervous, and then everything went black. And all I remember is waking up in somebody's arms. And I wasn't out that long, I don't think. But they're like, you know, Mandy, you fainted. Are you okay? Have you eaten anything today? They were asking me, like, have you had any water? Are you pregnant? And I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. I was like, I have not eaten anything today. Maybe that's what it is. Got lightheaded, I don't know. But pregnancy was like the furthest thing from my mind, right? Not possible in my mind. So, time went on, whatever. I told my mom about it when I got home from work that night. And she just was kind of looking like really? Like, okay. But she didn't say anything else about it, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe a week later, Saturday morning, I'm eating. My mom had made a big breakfast and I saw him eating. I took like one, maybe 2 bites of my eggs, and all of a sudden I jump up out the seat. I'm at the dining room table. I jump up out the seat and try to run, make a mad dash to the restroom. Before I could even get 2 steps away from the seat, I was just vomiting everywhere. There was eggs everywhere, all over the carpet. And when I get done, I'm like, I look up and my mom's just sitting there like this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm sick, you know, whatever. So I'm thinking nothing else of it. So days later, mom had made me a doctor's appointment. And keep in mind, she works at the same clinic where I was going to see the doctor. Like, she works in their business office. And so I go to the OB. I'm scared to death because I'm like, what is going on? Why am I going to the doctor? And they make me pee in a cup. I'm 15. I don't recall ever having to pee in a cup. And I'm used to going to pediatrics, not to OB/GYN. Okay, you know, I get checked out for whatever else, like a normal checkup, I guess. And I go back to the lobby. Maybe 10 minutes later, the nurse calls me in, and she's a friend of my mom's, been working with my mother for years, right? So anyway, she calls me into her office and she's like, Mandy, you're pregnant. And I'm like, whoa. What do you mean? She shows me the test. And when I say that test, like, the signs on that test were like, I was just like, oh my God, like, are you serious? So I'm like, okay, you know, I take a deep breath. I'm like, okay, so I gotta go tell my mom. I gotta go let her know what's going on. How am I gonna tell my mom? How am I gonna tell her? So I walk out of the, you know, the nurse's office. I'm in the lobby now. I'm kind of walking back and forth. I'm like, okay, so I gotta tell my mom. It's like, woman up. Gotta march up them stairs and just tell her, just let her know, you know, this is what it is. So before I could even make it up the flight of steps, do y'all know that the nurse had called my mother, called upstairs to my mother and told her I was pregnant before I could even get up the stairs. I was like, oh God. As soon as I walked up the stairs, as soon as she came out of her office to where I was at, you're pregnant. I was just stuck, y'all. I'm just sitting there looking like, yeah. So I go ahead and go home. She stays at work. I think 2 days later, she tells me I have a doctor's appointment to get a abortion. And I'm like, huh? I'm not getting an abortion. And she's looking at me like, what do you mean? Like, you're 15 years old. You think you're getting ready to have a baby? How are you gonna take care of this baby? Are you expecting me to take care of this baby? Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, nah, I'm not getting an abortion. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know, you know, how I'm gonna take care of this baby. I guess I'm gonna have to get a job. So, y'all, this was like one of the hardest times of my life. My mother stopped talking to me for like, man, it was probably like 3 weeks, but it felt like 3 months, okay? We living in the same house, ain't no words being said, like, I'm getting bigger. Felt like an eternity. You know, I continued on with life. I was going to school. A couple of months after I found out, no, I overheard my mom on the phone telling somebody, and she was happy, saying that she was having a grandbaby, that her daughter was having a baby. She was gonna be having a new grandbaby. She was, yeah, just happy and was talking to whoever this was about the baby on the way. And I was like, you know, I wanted to cry. I wanted to be like, mommy. So I just kind of like, okay, my heart wasn't so heavy anymore. And I was like, okay, so this is gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. She's gonna be okay. We are going to be okay. The lines of communication opened back up between us. You know, she was there. She's always been there. She helped me through the pregnancy. I ended up having a little boy. He was spoiled by her. Still is. Still is, but yeah, she ended up being happy. I was happy that I did not abort. Took care of him, went to school. He actually pushed me, like motivated me to do even better in high school, to get it done, to work hard, to take care of him. That is my story time about finding out that I was pregnant at 15. I had my son when I was 16. You know what? He's been a blessing. He's grown now. He's doing really, really good. A not so smart decision ended up being a great decision. So yeah, that is my story time. And I hope this really helps any other like teenage young ladies who might be facing something like this, maybe pregnant and don't know how to tell your parents, or ashamed. Really, don't be ashamed. I'm not condoning becoming a teenage mother or getting pregnant even outside of marriage, but what I'm saying is life is not over. You will get through it. Make the decision that's best for you. Just be happy, live your life, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this story time. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.